Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
Bacon. I'm Sam Healy. Welcome back, folks.
Z wasn't able to make it today, so Bacon's going to be covering for our third co-host.
Yes, there we go. And rightfully so.
Nah, Bacon's overrated, honestly. Look, I like bacon. It's fine, but this whole everything's better with bacon is a flat-out lie.
No, not everything, but many things.
Everything's better with cheese is actually the truth of the matter.
Big Macs are better with bacon.
As
well as quarter pounders.
They're also healthier, which is also a lie. Turkey bacon's where it's at.
Oh! Anathema!
Whatever. It's delicious. All right. So anyway, welcome to Workday Breakfast, where for the first time in a long time,
turkey,
we've actually
bacon?
talked about breakfast.
Turkey is a bird, not a pig.
Thanks. I didn't know that. I'm glad we clarified that useful information. All right. Well, now that you heard about food, so a couple things from the Dice Tower. First of all, on Monday, and Board Game Breakfast Monday, we'll be announcing the dates for the Dice Tower Retreat. If you haven't heard of Dice Tower Retreat, it's a small get-together here in Miami where you can come and play games. Well, it is small. And play games and play games. I mean, if you just want to play games, that's all we do.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
4 straight days. So we'll announce the dates for that on Monday. And then also, if you backed us on a Kickstarter, first of all, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And our backer kit will be going out over the next week, so just keep an eye out for that. And if you have not backed it and want to back it, you can always email us at, Kickstarter@dicetower.com, and that's a way to get added to the backer kit. All right, well, let's get to the news. All right, not a ton of news this week, which is probably okay, and nothing like majorly big either. Maybe I'm missing some stuff, but actually there is one piece of news I'm excited about. But let's get started as we go through the news here. So we talked about Talisman having some IPs added to it from USAopoly, and they've announced the first one, Kingdom Hearts. Now look. I don't like Talisman, but I might actually play Talisman Kingdom Hearts at least once. Because I like Kingdom Hearts a lot. Do you know what Kingdom Hearts is?
It's a video game. Well, I've not been living under a rock for the last 30 years. Come on.
Well, I know, but I don't know every video game that comes out.
Well, neither do I, but Kingdom Hearts is a big one. So.
Kingdom Hearts, mixing Disney characters with Final Fantasy characters, which is it sounded stupid, then I played it, and it was an interesting story, although I thought the mashing buttons part of the game I didn't care for. But, doesn't matter. This will be super popular.
It's a game for button mashers?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right,
Might
so
do well at that then.
There was a win a trip to Antarctica, which is possibly the coolest prize that a board game company has handed out in a long time.
Win a trip to Antarctica?
Yes.
What is in Antarctica? Okay, there are penguins and a ship.
It's a cruise. It's like a cruise thing.
Okay.
Dude, if you could get on the cruise to go there, you would go, right?
Ice Cool is the one that put it on? Is it?
Yeah, so what you had to do is you had to do...
Okay, makes sense. Got it.
You had to do like a trick shot, and so I think there was hundreds of videos sent in. They narrowed it down. The number one country sent in videos was U.S., and then number 2 country, Korea, sent in videos.
That's cool.
So there was a panel of judges. I was one of them, and I've watched more people flicking penguins than I'm done. Right. However, I would have shown the video right now, but I can't figure out a way to download it from the website. But if you go to their website, you can watch it. And I thought it was both cute and pretty cool to see, so you could see the person who won.
Pretty cool.
It's a 2-person trip to visit real penguins in Antarctica. There was 262 entries. Oh, I'm sorry. U.S. was the second most. Korea was the most. 86 entries from Korea, 65 from the U.S.
Huh.
So, all right.
Who won?
The winner was on the website.
Okay.
Irish Gauge.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Nope, doesn't to me. But that's because Capstone Games is now
they're heavy
partnering with Winsome Games. Winsome is the old train company that only made 100 copies of things. Of course, they are most well known for bringing 2 big games to the market, Transamerica and Age of Steam. They've also made a whole pile of other train games, which the people who play them say are quite good. Maybe they are. I just prefer to have color.
There's a lot of green in that picture.
Well, no, Capstone Games is going to make them look nicer. Capstone Games make stuff look great. So if you're a heavy train gamer, this will make you thrilled. This is a 3 to 5 player game. with a playtime of 60 minutes. I feel like that's a lie.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's based on our 2014 game.
Maybe they have like
the same title.
Really small print per player after that.
Yeah. No, it probably is a short game. This is probably one of those games where the train gamers are like, oh, that's a baby game. All right.
I'm sorry, I have to say this. Tufano Alex says, the biggest news is that Tom has lost his credibility as it relates to food discussions. This is dating back to your talking about bacon.
Oh, I'm sorry that I don't follow the will of the masses. Is McDonald's the best hamburger place too?
No.
All right, so anywho, a bunch of new games here have been announced from Calliope. So we got Spymaster, Everyone Loves a Parade, and Ship Shape. I'd argue that not everyone loves a parade if you're driving and you suddenly realize there's a parade in the path of where you're driving to. You don't love that.
This is true.
That person doesn't love the parade
at that particular moment in time. But is that like a balloon dog, or is that
yeah,
like
it's a balloon dog? You can see the strings.
Doggy.
No, that would be a different. That would be a different horror game.
Definitely a different.
The ship-shaped cover looks extremely generic. The pirate one.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that one, but the Spymaster one looks cool. Although the ship-shaped game is from Rob Daviau. So,
Huh. All right.
Anyway, the Spymaster game is a I Split You Choose game, so that's kind of interesting. We haven't seen too many of those.
Yeah.
All right, in Stonemeyer news, and we say that because it seems like his news becomes events.
Yep.
Euphoria, Ignorance is Bliss. And I swear this better be a good expansion, because if not, he's serving me up a nice tagline for the review. So, no, really, it's right.
Yes.
When you make a name, think about the puns the reviewers can make if your game is bad, because it's kind of just there.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm sure it's just an expansion. He is calling it a more stuff expansion, more things.
Yeah.
Or a better way, alternate stuff. Player count expansion. So now you can. It was 2 to 6 players. Now it can be 1 to 6 because he added solo play. Because if you don't add solo play, now no one will buy your game.
Yeah, you're not hip anymore.
I know. And also improve the rules. He says that Euphoria is still a good game, but it was 5 years ago, so they've addressed them with some new things.
Okay.
So it's
That's cool. That's
Sure,
cool that
sure.
they revisit their rule sets.
I got to be honest, I played it when it first came out, reviewed it, and then I haven't played it since. I love the theming of the game, but I don't know. It just isn't in the top tier for me. But speaking of top tier, Ghost Stories is being reprinted. The new game is called Last Hope. I do not know if it's ghost theme. I don't know what the changes are because they only showed a very brief prototype of it at the thing in Germany.
So the reprint is going to be called Last Hope?
Yeah.
Huh.
He says that it cuts away 3 to 4 pages of rules and exceptions. I didn't even think the game was that complex, but a streamlined game? Well, who knows?
Do they make it easier?
So, the next thing...
That's a no. Okay, got it.
The next thing here is Jaws the board game. So this is being made from the same folks who made...
I think you just woke Pete Shirey up.
Yeah, Pete Shirey's like...
Jaws the what? Huh?
Oh, he probably already knew about it.
I know, right?
Maybe he designed it. I don't know. It's from the same folks who made the game right behind me. What's that Disney thing called? Villainous.
That boat is really small. They're gonna need a bigger boat.
I wasn't gonna. No, that's stupid. That's stupid.
Come on, that was a.
Actually, Pete probably doesn't want this game to do badly because it looks like it's a direct comp. It looks like a direct competition in his shark game.
Really?
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think that looks like it has more. That has less going on. That looks like it's more about the attack on the boat than it is actually finding the shark, which is what his game is about. It's a
one person's the shark. Mm-hmm. The other 1 to 3 players are Brody, Hooper, and Quint. The company, by the way, is Prospero Hall. And the game is in 2 acts. The Amity Island phase, where the shark menaces swimmers and avoids capture, and the other players are trying to pinpoint him and save swimmers. Mm-hmm. Then in the other one, you flip the board over, and Brody, Hooper, and Quint are going to go and try to kill the shark. If they kill the shark, they win. If the shark attack on the orca succeeds, the great white shark wins.
Yeah, that's more.
That's pretty neat.
Microcosmic than Pete's
This
game
is one of those times where I think the IP is more interesting than the non-IP. Like if you just say Shark Game or Jaws, I think Jaws would be more interesting.
Maybe.
Unless you make a The Meg game, I would play that.
I think Jaws has a lot of nostalgia attributed to it. And I don't mean to be harping on Pete here and his game, Shark Island, but the graphic design of that game looks really good, and it is generic. I mean, it's definitely based on, for lack of a better term, the Jaws
I actually
franchise,
want to play a game based on Jaws 3. Because I want to see a game where a shark hunts people on land who are very scared because he can't get on land to get them, so they could just retire, like in Nebraska.
Huh. Is that what Jaws 3 was about?
I'm pretty sure. Like, it followed them up the coastline. It was like, oh, the shark is...
into fresh water.
No. It, like, they just kept going out on
the
boat.
beach?
I know! It seemed like a really easy solution. Like, let's move
I don't
to
think I ever
Kansas.
saw Jaws 3. This is why I'm not being a troll here. I don't think I ever watched
Jaws
Jaws
3 is widely known as one of the best movies other than Mortal Kombat 2 and Superman 4.
Right behind Sharknado.
Let's go on to
Got
our
it.
other news here. Sorry, we're going off the track. We need Z.
Hello, fellow gamers. Next week, I will be at the lovely, lovely Dice Tower West, so I hope to see you all there. I will be playing lots of games and be eating a ton of food, and then probably playing more games. And then at some point, I should probably sleep, but since it's Vegas, I don't think you actually need to. But that's not what we're here for today, so let's get started on these Kickstarters. Featured this week, we have a pocket game you never knew you wanted with Tiny Epic Tactics by Gamelin Games. This is for 1 to 4 team members who are looking for a tactical area control game that lasts for about 30 to 60 minutes, but also has more nesting capabilities than a Russian doll, as they really put their Tiny Box series to the test with 3D terrain that offers solo, cooperative, competitive, and team play modes for a base cost of just $20, bringing you a mini miniature style game with affordability. Speaking of tiny things, what about tiny chocolates in Chocolate Factory by Alley Cat Games? As 1 to 4 chocolatiers with a taste for ruthless entrepreneurship draft employees and parts, crafting a literal tiny conveyor belt engine to produce their goods for 60 minutes. Players will also be selling off those exquisite chocolates to the finest of stores to muscle out the fellow manufacturers. Now, this box of chocolates will cost you $59, and fair warning, the actual game chocolates, although tasty looking, are not actually edible. Now, to regret our life decisions and the last game we just looked at, we have Consumption, Food and Choices by Colossal Games, which is for 1 to 4 people looking for strategic diet advice through the low cost of a $48 board game. As players will be grocery shopping, cooking food, making time to be active, and doing all the things we ought to be doing in life other than messing around playing games, guys. In this Euro-style game that has you manage resources and actions for about 60 minutes. Keep in mind, this is probably the only place where you can earn a whopping 5 victory points for just drinking a dirty martini. Next up is Coloma by Final Frontier Games that brings to life the California gold rush for 1 to 5 gold diggers who aren't messing around with those broke prospectors in this tableau building game that utilizes simultaneous action selection with a wheel for about 60 to 90 minutes. This allows you to go big or bust. Players will also have to deal with outlaws at high noon, put up camps, and build businesses in this worker placement game that starts at about $54. And finally, to relieve you of that song that I just got stuck in your head, we have Winterborn by Talon Strike Studios. This game is for 2 to 4 Norse leaders fighting to expand their domain before winter comes by utilizing special character abilities, deck building, and building up the land through tile placement for about 45 to 90 minutes in this light Euro game that starts at $39 and reminds me that winter is coming, just not with dragons included. Thank you so much for joining me this week, guys. If you want to hear more about any of the Kickstarters that you saw here today, then join me on Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time as we talk about all these Kickstarters in depth and if we would back them or not. And you guys get to join in on the conversation as it is a live show. So other than that, we will see you guys all next week.
I've been waiting for this game for a while. Finally, I got it. This is Mark Walker's Flying Pig Games, The Battle of Kursk. Okay, short history, real quick. So, Kursk is in Russia. The Germans invade Russia, World War II, 1941-1942. So the Germans send in 800,000 men plus 3,000 tanks to go through Kursk. But the Russians got wind of this, so the Russians sent over 2 million men and 5,000 tanks. That's why I'm excited about this game. And I failed to mention about 35,000 howitzers and mortars. Howitzers are those cannons, and about 7,000 planes. You know, just saying, for context, because war games are about the context. Now, the Battle of Kursk is a platoon-level game, meaning that every chit, every little token, the vehicles are about 2 to 5 vehicles per token, and the infantry, the men, are about 40 to 60 per token. What you got with this game are 252 color 1-inch square die-cut counters. I mean, look at the artwork. Take your time, check it out. Look how many tanks. It's a tank fest. There's also planes involved, like the dreaded German Stuka. And the Russians, not to be outdone, have the Illusion, which is basically a flying tank. So those two numbers that you see on this flying tank, one is for the armor piercing factor, and the other one is for high explosive factor. Armor piercing tanks, high explosive flesh. You know, you're probably saying, Dan, that's so gross, flesh, my god, war games, I don't want to play war games. Hey, hold on, I play Euros too, and I played Flashpoint once, and once I had to get one of these things, turn it around, and it was a dead kitty. I didn't make it. Who wants a dead kitty? They're nice people, they want to help. Like, look, you could even get a strategy guide for this game, and it helps you through, decimating your opponent. We can't all be nice like Stella from Meeple University. Really, how nice can you be? You also get two 17 by 22 inch geomorphic mounted board maps. What's geomorphic? Well, you can put them any way, left, right, and it'll work. You also get a player aid card, like I said, were nice, plus this is a card-assisted war game. You have certain cards that help you in your strategy to obviously obliterate your opponent. Platoon Command Deluxe, The Battle for Kursk, is a 2-player game, available right now. Thank you for watching, and if you want to know more about war games, check out No Enemies Here. Thank you very much.
Well, hey, folks, welcome back to the Player Stereotypes segment. And this is a segment where we basically just talk about different kinds of player stereotypes that are out there. We're not really downing them. We're not really talking bad about them. Be nice. We're just simply
I want to talk bad about them.
Entering the discussion about these different player types and how maybe we don't need to be so tough on some of them, all the time at least. But, yeah. So today, talking about rules lawyers. Rules lawyers. Now, sometimes
they're bad. I can't help myself. They're bad. I gotta say it.
Sometimes they're not, though. You want a rules lawyer. For example, every time we're playing like a game on live or live stream or something like that, doesn't it help?
Oh, sure.
When the designer pops up and says, "Hey, any question you need, I got your answer."
That's the rules master. That's
True.
different than the rules lawyer.
Well, it's still a kind of rules lawyer. It's still in the shade, and that's kind of what I'm exploring here with these different stereotypes, is all of the different shades that they can, that they can proffer. So that's one of them. Sometimes you want that guy around, the guy that knows the game backwards and forwards. I know every time, well, at least the last couple of years, every time I've played Battlestar Galactica, it's been with David. I forget his last name right now, but at a convention, and he knows that game backwards and forwards.
Sure, but I don't think we ever call those people rules lawyers. We just call them smart.
Well, rules lawyers pretty much have to be smart because they've got
That's
multiple
true.
games
Rules,
memorized.
I actually
right?
do think every rules lawyer I met in my life, I thought they were smart people.
So yeah, there's a reason we call them rules lawyers. It's not just because, I guess there is a negative connotation sometimes to the
There's
word
a negative
lawyer.
connotation to the word lawyer, period, yeah.
So anyway.
Sorry, all lawyers, I love you all.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you want a rules lawyer around. You do.
Very
but there
rarely.
are other kinds of rules lawyers. Like there's always the guy that has to have the rule book in his hand most of the time. And at some point, even if somebody else is teaching the game,
Whatever. I'm working on this. I'm in therapy.
at some point they will say, "Can I see the rules?"
I haven't done that in the last 3 games.
I'm not saying that that's a definite rules lawyer, but that's a shade of it. So there's
Actually,
different...
that's a guy who can't learn from someone else is what it is.
Okay, yeah, I could see that too. But I don't think you can't.
The
learn
rules
from
lawyer to
somebody
me
else.
is the guy who basically will try to use the rules in any way he can to further his own cause. He'll sit there and go, well, according to this and this and this, and you're like, wow. And if you make any sort of mistake, he'll be like, wait, but rule point 4.3.2 says this. And to me, sure, if you want to point out there's a rules mistake, I think there's a way to do it. But I almost find these guys always make, I wouldn't punch people in the face, but I want to when they do this. I've never punched anyone in the face, but I imagine it when the rules lawyer guy does it. That sounds bad too.
Okay, so crazy British...
Let's move on.
No, crazy British chief says, come on, Sam, your definition is wrong again, in all capital letters.
Okay,
why is it
cool.
wrong? I mean, you're providing the criticism, but why is it wrong?
What is the definition of a rules lawyer? A rules lawyer is someone who will lawyer the rules. Someone who says, objection! And then I say, sit down, or I'll throw you out of the courtroom. All right?
It says somebody says that they pick apart the rules to favor themselves or for someone they want to win. So,
Wait,
but that's
that,
king-making.
That I have never seen.
That's
a
king-making,
rules
though.
lawyer
That's
like
not really rules lawyering.
Well, according to Sam, no, but we played a game with a rules lawyer just a few nights ago. I won't mention their name, but it rhymes with machine. And that person utilized the rules in such a way to, I don't think they were meant to be played this way. And of the 6 people playing the game, 4 of them agreed. The 5th person didn't because they were on the machine's team. And that's where I find a problem. When you're like, wait a minute, are you supposed to be able to do that? They're like, well, technically I can. When you use the word technically in a game to further your point, no one likes you. So yes, this is negative.
Okay, so crazy British Steve answered me. He says, it's wrong because you're defining a rules lawyer as someone that knows the rules well. Does a rules lawyer not know the rules well?
Yeah, but that's the rules judge. He should know the rules. He's a rules lawyer who's graduated
You realize
and been
that judges
elected.
are also lawyers.
I know.
That's how they
but
started out, right?
He's been above that. People respect judges. They don't respect lawyers.
So I'm wrong because I have a nicer definition of what a rules lawyer is, apparently. Because
You heard it here first. Sam's too nice.
I'm just saying, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like because I have a nicer definition of what rules lawyering is, then that means that I'm wrong.
See, this is where I would accuse Sam of being a rules lawyer, but he's not. So that's why I would say he's being too nice, but no, he is not. But I know some. Now, rules lawyering is, most of the time it's people complain about it. It's from RPGs. So the people who like do all the things in RPG to manipulate it their way. They're also in war games. But to me, when a rules lawyer does something that's clearly not what the designer intended, but they can manipulate the rules to pointing that out, they're evil.
Neo Closet Otaku says, I used to play war games a lot. The rules lawyers were the ones who said that a retreat result in the CRT meant you could move forward.
Right, because the rule book wouldn't say what direction the retreat had to be in, even though retreat is clearly moving backwards.
Memoir 44 definitely says when you retreat, you have to move back toward your table edge.
Sure, but
that's
sometimes the rules. But my response to that are the rules also don't say I can't flip the table and slap you, but I don't do that because that's what polite, civilized people do. So just because the rules don't say something doesn't mean you can't. You can do it. You can't trade all your properties in Monopoly for $1, just because. All right. Anyway.
Renee says, Sam's You're Wrong segment.
Alrighty, well that's our thing for today. If you're watching,
fine.
If you're watching later on, tell us what you think of rules lawyers.
Shoot the messenger. I'm just trying to open conversation. Everybody says I'm wrong.
I didn't say to say what you thought about Sam. Just tell us what you think about rules lawyers. Alrighty, well let's hear from some people who will be less controversial.
Your turn.
Ooh.
Hey guys, I'm Randy.
I'm Ellen. Hey, we're talking about Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan.
When I first saw this game pronounced, it was from Tom Vassell, and I'm like, he's like the game king. So of course I was like, I literally practiced. I practiced the way that he enunciated it or pronounced it so many times, and then when I said it, Randy's like, what language is that?
Yeah.
And I said it's the thing
Tom's not
Tom
known
said.
for his pronunciations.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So
I was like, I'm
not
totally
your
gonna make
best-
this video and nail it.
Not your best guide on that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Thanks a lot,
probably
Tom.
any better, but you know.
Okay, so when I first saw the game set up on the table, I was shocked at how cool it looked because I wouldn't say like the color palette's amazing or anything like that, but it's got so many undulations.
Undulations is my word,
He said it. It's a great word.
not your word.
Well, I'm gonna steal it because it's so fun to
That's
say.
fine.
You got the stacks of the tiles that you're
Lots of
building a
different
pyramid.
textures. There's
Yeah.
different levels.
Tiny,
the little
precious
people-
artwork.
Yeah, the meeples and the dice, and then there's cubes. Just it's got a really good table presence.
It's very
You
cool,
look at it from
yeah.
afar. It's got like the 3-dimensional effects. You're building the temple as you go along, so it kind of changes and develops that way.
There's a lot you can
I think
do.
it looks quite good.
There's a lot you can do, and I love the dice movement and how they work. When you place on a new tile, you can upgrade. Well, depending on which space you go to,
Right.
you can upgrade. So eventually, when it goes from the 1 to the 6, it ascends and becomes a 1 again, and then you kind of use.
Yeah,
that
and you get
number
like a
that's on
bonus
there.
for having it get up to that point, so
Yeah.
you get some extra. You get to choose what extras you want.
So cool.
And then you start over, but you know they build up pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
They do.
Every time they ascend, that kind of advances the game
Yeah.
track also. So the more you're doing that, the faster the game goes.
Yeah.
It's a really good
Fantastic
package.
game.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. Like
I'm surprised that you liked it so
I
much.
don't know what it is. I didn't think I was gonna like Feast for Odin either, but that one I
Right.
can't
yeah,
get
and
enough
these
of.
are two that I'm quite shocked about.
It's
I thought you'd
so
like
good.
it, but
Yeah.
you were talking about it for a,
Yeah,
for a while
I
afterwards.
was like giggling as I was
and
playing.
you won.
I won hard, folks.
Well, okay,
folks. It was
fine.
like 20 something points.
Well, that's debatable.
It's
It was
fact.
actually 20.
It's actually fact. It was it 20 on the
It was 20 something.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was more than
20-something.
20. Yeah, I didn't.
That
Not
felt
my finest
fantastic.
moment.
It's not. I knew I had it too. Like I knew I was gonna get that. Oh, it felt so good. Please do yourselves a favor and play this game. So
And stay tuned for the photo of the day
Yes.
and the social media stuff. You know, typical.
all the
typical.
stuff again.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Greetings and welcome to the Mega Meeple. Get ready to play a game of Chronicles of Crime, and I thought I'd just shoot a question out to all of you. Apps and board games. Now, there are people out there that don't like apps in their board games. You know, you got your app in my board game. Oh, you got your board game in my app, and you got chocolate in my peanut butter, and blah, 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 blah. Now, I can understand the appeal of actually feeling the cards, the actual physical, tactile aspect of being able to move miniatures around on the board and dealing cards out. And anytime you have like an app interjecting into the game, I can understand where, like, if a company for whatever reason may go out of business and no longer support the app, well, then you have a board game that's pretty useless. But when you're dealing with games like Mansions of Madness, Fantasy Flight Games, they're not going to go away anytime soon. So the support is always going to be there. So I want to put the question out to you. Do you like apps in board games? Is that something that you enjoy, or you pretty much stare completely away from and avoid at all costs? Sound off in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great breakfast.
Hello, and welcome back to Retro Board Game Corner. Here I have Defender, published in 1982 by Intex. This is a 2 to 4 player game in which you're racing to try to get ion chips and bring them back to your home base. Let me set this up and show you how it works. This is what the game board will look like set up. Everybody's going to pick a different color spaceship and put it on their docking bay to start. And then you're going to set the chips over here on this side. These are the ion chips which you're trying to get. On every single one of your turns, you're going to have the opportunity to move one of your ships by spinning this spinner. The orange number represents forward thrust, and you'll move your ship forward that many numbers. The yellow represents lateral thrust, meaning you can move your ship up or down. Now, the object is to try to get all the way over here to get one of these chips and take it all the way back to your docking bay by exact count. You want to avoid all these aliens here that are on the board. Now, every time you spin this spinner, you can either decide to move laterally first or thrust forward first. It depends on which way you want to go. If you land on one of these aliens, your ship is destroyed and it goes back to the start space or to the nearest repair station, which is here or here. Now, when one of your chips is out on the board, you can go ahead and move a chip of your same color on the docking bay. And again, you can either move the ship that's already there or the ship that's on the docking bay. Now, when you land over here on the ion chips, you just load it up onto your ship and then make your way back across. Now, you need a chip of each color, white, yellow, and purple, to win the game. Now, there was 2 versions of this game made. One by this company, Intech, and another one a year later by Milton Bradley. I enjoy this version better because the game board looks like the actual arcade game. But the only thing is that you're trying to get these ion chips over here, and that wasn't in the arcade game. In the Milton Bradley version, you're actually trying to save humans, which is what you were doing in the arcade game, but the game board looks completely different. Well, that's all the time I have for now. If you have a comment below, or you can tweet them to me at RetroBoardGamer. And as always, may your rolls be high.
What's in the box, man? Alrighty, let's find out. I'm cutting away from me, which is really awkward.
You didn't over here, though.
Yeah, that was towards you, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, I see. I got you.
I shouldn't even joke with a knife.
That was towards me, too.
I know.
What's going on here?
Hang on. Let's
Taking
see.
this away from you.
Oh, this looks very interesting. This is a game called Treasure Mountain with dwarves on it. Can I have the knife back?
I was right next to the thing. Huh?
You were.
Are you going to be nice?
Yeah.
All right.
This is from a company called August Games. That's not a good logo, but whatever. All right. All right, here we go. Let's open this up and see what's in here. Designed by Daniel George and Kate Blevins. So we have a rule book here. I've noticed, that I've been complaining about a lot of rule books, but there's a lot of good rule books these days. Kickstarter benefactors. There's not a lot of names in here, though. I wonder if they just put in like a certain level. Oh, that looks cool. Look, there's different art on them too. I think. No, maybe not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's just done in different directions. It's the same dude. They're just sticking them in different spots on the thing.
That's not bad.
Oh, here's some dragons. Flambeau, Cinder Tongue, Yuki Wartooth, and Quan the Indomitable.
Quan the Indomitable.
And then we got more dragons. Varg the Wicked.
These are popping out really easy, too.
Ben Beer Burner.
What?
Beard Burner. Ben Beard Burner.
Beard Burner.
Roaring Rick. Augur Gold Wyver. Sounds like the Kickstarter backers got to name these.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Solon the Stilted, Droll Pier Draco. Put this magic dragon in your pocket to remind yourself to play more games. Wise Dwarf says it's not the size of your beard, but how you comb it. Thanks for watching the Dice Tower.
Wow.
Alrighty, so we got some.
Yep.
Okay, I like the
Everything
coins.
punches out really good.
They're also different sizes. I mean, not just different sizes, but they're also different shapes. So.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, they are. This is a
Okay, got you.
hexagon.
Oh, no, why did I ask? I'm
This is an
sorry. I'm
octagon,
sorry.
And this is the very rare decagon.
Your daily geometry lesson brought to you by the Dice Tower.
All right. That's a pretty cool board.
It looks a little busy.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah.
Think it's a worker placement game?
Down here.
I gotta say, this game actually looks interesting.
No, yeah, it does.
Looks like you're building a mine of dwarves and barrels. Okay, what do you think the barrels are? You think it's beer?
It's got to be.
When it's dwarves, it's always beer.
It's got to be.
There's dice and
Translucent cubes. No, gems.
here's what I want to know. These dwarves always go around and they dig up these gems, but they don't care about them, right? So,
No, they absolutely care about them.
but they don't do anything with them.
Yeah, they do. They keep them.
The workers here are marked with numbers. You can see it says screen printed markers. That's pretty cool. Some discs. This is dirt. I thought it was piles of poop at first, but it is
Dirt? Is it dirt? Or you think it might be like loot, like treasure?
Oh, like a pile of gold?
Yeah.
Well, then it shouldn't be brown.
That's a weird color for gold. Yeah.
And some cards.
You didn't close this.
2 decks of cards
Monster.
that look like they show various things on them. Alrighty, that's it. That's your Daylink surprise unboxing. Well, hey, I'm glad. Okay, so rate this game based on
Just on that?
just based on looks.
6.
7. All right. Well, that's our surprise unboxing. We got some more contributors coming your way right now.
Right now.
Coloma is here! I've been wanting to try to play this for a while. It's currently on Kickstarter. I'll show you what it is about coming up. Hi, it's Stella from Maple University. On our channel we do a lot of overview, how to play, playthrough and vlog, just like this one. So today I'm going to share you what I think about Coloma. Let's get to the table. Coloma is published by Final Frontier Games. It is about 1849 gold rush in, well, Coloma, California. We players are pioneers trying to settle and expand and prospecting for the gold. Game plays 1 to 5 players. It has mechanics such as simultaneous action selection, worker placement, and hand management. Coloma is designed by Jonathan Packcantin with David Pericci of Anachrony, Teotihuacan, and a few other games developing the solo rules. The awesome artwork was done by the Miko. This is still a prototype copy, so rules and art may not be final. In Coloma, game goes for 3 rounds with 5 turns each round. Players start their turn by selecting 1 of 5 actions available in simultaneous action selection style. There are some consequences when too many players selecting the same action. There is also an action that is covered each round when the wheel turns, forcing player unable to take certain actions on certain turns. There are many ways to score points, and you've got to watch out for your opponents as well before they take your points away. You can build buildings, build camps, fighting the outlaws are some of the actions. You can build your engine to make your action more powerful. Towards the end of the game, the escalation would cause players to select benefit for victory points rather than in-game bonus. Players with the most victory points wins. We played it, we enjoyed it. It's a mid-length Euro. We just don't have enough time to complete all of the actions that we want. It reminds me a little bit of Gugong mechanics where you have your dudes that you can use to do some actions. And we'll have some videos as well for Coloma on our channel, so check that out if you're interested in finding more. So hopefully you enjoy watching this. Until next week.
Hello guys, it's Cardboard Rhino and welcome to one more Rhino Says Yes. Today's recommendation is a fresh cooperative dice game that carries the same name as Japan's most famous volcano. It's Fuji. In Fuji, you play as a group of adventurers on their way to Mount Fuji. But just before you reach your destination, the earth begins to shake and the volcano erupts. You and your group need to reach the village safely as quickly as possible before the deadly lava catches you and before you're too exhausted to run anymore. Starting a round, players simultaneously and secretly roll their dice behind their screens. The players want to get all the way over here to the villages, and each can move up to 3 tiles at a time. You place your destination marker where you want to go, and the way to successfully make the move is determined by comparing the rolls of the 2 players sitting adjacent to you with yours. In this example, in order to move to this tile, I only count the even numbers of the blue and pink dice from my roll. I find them and calculate their sum. In this case it's 12, If my sum is higher than both the adjacent player's sum of the dice for the destination, I move on to the tile. Otherwise, I have to stay where I am. Here's the stamina track. Depending on the difference of your sum to the highest of the sums of players next to you, you move along the track and get injuries that have effect on your skills and abilities. The tricky part about the movement is that since you only know your own dice and can communicate only vaguely with each other, you will never be sure about the outcome. But before the final reveal, you also get rerolls. If you choose to stay where you are, you have 2 rerolls. If you want to move to 1 or 2 tiles away, you only get 1 reroll, and for 3 tiles you have none. After the move and the rerolls, the volcano erupts, spreading the hot lava to one adjacent tile horizontally and vertically. The game ends with a success if all players reach the village alive. Fuji is a good option for those who are looking for a light game with small puzzles, guessing, and cooperation. In the game, not only you have to try to get destinations and rerolls that will increase your sum above the rest, but you also have to help others by lowering your score of their dice of interest. There is lots of tension when the lava approaches the players, and you have to rely on your team tactics and a bit of luck to make it. The illustrations and graphics are just so exceptionally beautiful that it's a real piece of art I think you should add to your collection. So Rhino says yes to Fuji, it's definitely worth a look.
Alrighty!
That was so close.
That was close. Alrighty, and that is the end of another episode, but we're not done for the day. We'll be back at 11 a.m. We'll be playing a new game, a 4X game called The Silver River. We're live with Board Game Breakfast.
Has a cool name too, the Silver River, and it's got cool little factoids behind the name as well. I'll let Robert share that with you.
So come back at 11 and watch me whoop up on Sam, Roy, and Robert.
Ain't gonna happen, man. White Lions will prevail.
Is there fighting in this game?
Absolutely.
Yeah, then I'm you know what? I decide right now I'm gonna be the most aggressive player I've ever been, because I'm in the mood for kill it.
Give him the most pacifistic race, Robert.
I already picked my race. I actually did. I did pick a. What?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll be back. Until next time, though. Board Game Breakfast will be back on Monday.
Yeah.
Next week, a week from today, there will not be a Board Game Breakfast live on Thursday because we'll be at Dice Tower West. However, we'll be doing live things there, and we'll be doing a top 5 list there. Top 5 things to get out of my face.
Get out my face, peoples!
No, not people.
I don't care what you think about rules lawyers.
It was things. Things to get out of our face. So we'll be joined with that from some of our other folks on the Dice Tower. We'll see you guys at Dice Tower West. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side.
All right.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vassell and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff in stock at coolstuffinc.com.